Hey guys, so as you can tell from the title of this vid, I'm going to be talking briefly about the missing plane down over there in Malaysia, or between Malaysia and Vietnam. And for those of you who haven't heard, basically what happened was there was this air jet that went from Malaysia, and I believe it was headed to China, and essentially along the way they lost contact with it, and after a while they couldn't find it at all. And it's been almost a week, I think, right now, or over. I'm not really sure. Since its disappearance, and there's so far nothing to indicate what happened, and that's usually pretty odd for an aircraft, or especially of this size. And it just seems odd, and a lot of people are speculating about things, and some people are just baffled over as to what happened. They're thinking, like, how could this possibly happen? To be quite frank, me myself as well. I mean, I don't know how an airplane that big, with given all the protocols out there for airlines to follow, like for airplanes to follow, how this happened, how an airplane could completely go off the radar and no one find it at all. But I wanted to talk a little bit about something else. The topic I wanted to kind of develop from this incident was the idea behind the lack of closure. And what I mean by that is when something happens and we never find out really what led to it. And in this particular case, I'm talking about when people lose loved ones or there's a huge tragedy and no one ever finds out. And this is pretty interesting because the other day I saw was it was some YouTube documentary basically talking about the Natalie Holloway files. It was the girl she appeared roughly, I'd say, 13 to 12 years ago, and no one really ever found out what happened to her, and I don't think they even found the body. And I always thought, that must be really difficult on the family, especially given the fact that they have no clue as to what happened, and some of them are not even sure if she's dead or alive. I mean, people are pretty much at this point on speculating that she's it's pretty sure that, or some people say it's pretty sure that she's dead. We don't know for certain. And these cases are not, that's not like a unique case. I mean, there are other cases, like for instance the Mara Murray case. She's more recent, and there was this other woman by the name of Amy Bradley, and now for her, a lot of people are speculating she's still alive, but she's been kidnapped and sold off to the sex trade. Either ways, what all these cases share in common is that the people closest to the victims are pretty much unaware of what happened. There's no closure, and I'd assume that's probably the worst feeling out there. In a way, people would just rather know they're dead than speculate as to what happened to them. Especially if it's a loved one you've spent all your life with, family member or not, or whatever it is, and all of a sudden one day they're gone. You don't know what happens, and that must be pretty tough. So that's what I'm hoping they avoid in this case, because even though I doubt that we'll never hear about this plane again, I mean, I'm sure at some point they'll find out something, but I mean, the not knowing is I guess it's the most hardest part in these sort of cases. And I mean, I hope for the sake of these families, or of the victims on this plane, that they find out at some point. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. That's my thoughts on the thing. Bye for now.